Okay, testing, testing, 1 2 1 2 3. Testing, testing, 1 2. Just testing. Making sure we are live. Okay, I see the live. Let's just go ahead and tune into the video and see if we can hear ourselves talk. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Yeah, okay. All right, cool. So I think we're good. I think we're good now. Let me just. I don't know how I don't know how loud it is like compared to my voice. So just want to make. All right, guys. I think we're good. I think we're good. So let me just let's see here. There's a couple little edits here. Just want to make. Couple little edits and then we'll be officially live and ready to go. For everybody that is tuning in, hopefully you are doing well. Thank you for stopping by. Just take care of this. Shouldn't take too long. Okay. Okay. Alright. Just two more here. Just trying to change these tags. Not change them, but they came out kind of weird, so. They came out kind of weird, so just trying to change it real quick. Came out funky. And then we'll officially get into it. Get into the action. Come on now, you know what to do. Come on. Come on. There you go. Alright guys, almost done, almost done. So close. So close. Almost. We're almost there. Almost there. And done. Done. Done, done, done. Sweet. Alright, cool, cool. So we heard her voice, so we were good on that front. So I want to make sure of that. Cause last time, or not last time, but like well, yeah, last time, yeah, I had the mute button on by accident on my controller, therefore it caused me to, you know, it caused me to be muted, and it's like, oh no. Alright, cool, cool. So, alright, cool, cool. So, alright, guys. So, we are officially live now. Officially live. Officially going now in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hello, hello. What is up? What is happening? My name is Ghost Panda Storm, and the place to be, as always. And I'm so glad you're doing for another stream here on YouTube. And today, we are playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2. This is, we played this game before. We streamed it before, a few weeks back, and had a lot of fun with that. So, we're back playing it again. So, what we do is, this is currently, you know, Console Adventure Friday, we call it. So this is Console Adventure Fridays. You know, I really stream mostly on games, things like that. So that's what I mostly do. And so on Fridays, though, we go to YouTube here and we play console games. That's kind of what we do, and it's kind of been the thing. So yeah, it's a big part of the experience. So just going and playing and streaming over a YouTube on Friday to get a change of pace from the mobile games we do. So some might say it's a different combination, but that's what I like. I like it that's different, and that we're kind of taking a different approach with things, and I think it's really great. Can I check something else real quick? Just make sure nobody can hear me on the stream. I don't think so. It's Tony Hawk. I don't think so. I think they're pretty old school with how they approach things. So, but that's basically how we roll. So we do mobile games on Fridays, or on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays on Facebook Gaming, and then we do these console streams here on YouTube. Oh my goodness. So that's basically what we do. So so if you're new to the experience, then that's what we do. We normally do this. This is part of our regular ritual, I guess. This is our part of our weekly schedule for streaming and things like that. So do a little mobile. We play Garena Free Fire. That's the mobile game we play. It's Free Fire. So yeah. Garena Free Fire is the mobile game that we play on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays on Facebook, and then like I said on YouTube, we just play different console games. It's different console games every time. So sometimes it might be Tony Hawk. It could be something totally different. It could be like last week we did Plague Tale: Innocence. So that's a great game. So it could be just something basically different every time. So it's something different every time. So it'll give you something fresh each and every time we play. So. Hopefully the screen doesn't look too fuzzy for you guys either, by the way. Hopefully not. I know it's like when you move, it seems like it's a little bit on the fuzzy side, so hopefully it's not too bad. It's not the first time I stream on console, through the console, so I never used to really have problems or anything, so. Yeah. Yeah. Bear with me, though. I might have to take a look at it again. So, like I said, it seems like it's looking a little fuzzy. So, yes. Oh, jeez. Yeah, but this seems like it looks a little fuzzy. So, yeah. It seems like it has something to do with the speed of the game, and that might have an effect on it too. So, yeah. Next week I probably had to get back to, because at first I was on capture card, and I might have to get back to it. I just didn't do it because use the capture card because if for some reason it didn't work when I plugged it to the console. It was weird. It was really bizarre. I was like, okay. It works fine when you do the mobile. When you do the mobile and plug it up to your phone and everything and try to do those, Free Fire streams. It's like, it works fine, but for some reason when I had it back on console, and it's not the first time I had it plugged up to console, but, but for some reason it decided it wanted to act up a little bit, so that's why we're kind of on right through this, that's why we're playing right through the system right now. So, playing directly through the system, which comes in handy when you need it. It does come in handy, so, but next week they'll probably try to get back to using a capture card. Probably make it look a little better, things like that, so. Yeah! Yeah, you weren't even. Well, you were kind of close. Sorry, score, but it's funny because these are the same people too. That's one thing. If you play Tony Hawk, 1+2 online, you're gonna be like coming across like a lot of the same people. So At least on PS5, because this is the PS5 version, so I think especially for that, you know, maybe on PS4 you might get more variety, but PS5 version it's more, you know, a lot of the same folks pretty much. Like Griselda Ghost, I remember him. There was a couple others too, a couple other regulars. I think Syndicate too. I think Syndicate GT. I think I remember him as well. Actually, the other people though I think are newer. I don't recall seeing other ones now. So I'm starting to see some newer people over here. Nice. So, by the way, guys, of course you can follow me here on, or you know, subscribe here on YouTube if you wish. Like I said, we do these on every Friday, these console streams. So I know it's only one day a week, but it's you know, still, you know, could make us part of the Friday ritual. You know, there could be some changes on the road, things like that, and where you're aware, or you know, maybe we might be a little bit more focused on certain games or something like that, but we'll see. So, but yeah, we do these on Fridays though. This is to take a break. It's just kind of to switch things up from the mobile streams. So, so I definitely highly recommend you check out the Facebook page too, because that's where I stream the most. We'll play Free Fire. Even if you aren't into, you know, battle royales, or maybe you're not into Free Fire, or maybe you're not into mobile games, you know, I'm like, you know, you can still check it out and maybe you'll appreciate it. Maybe you'll become a fan. So maybe you'll become a fan. Anything's possible. So you might say, oh, this is cool. You'll say, oh, this game's pretty neat or whatever. So yeah, so I definitely recommend you guys checking out the Facebook page and following over there where we do most of our streams. And of course, subscribe here. Subscribe here, then get your console fill. And yeah. So. Oh, jeez. So definitely do that for sure. We'll much appreciate the support. So next week too, this is kind of a no heads up right now. Next week probably play. I'm thinking about really getting into Hitman 3. That's what I'm thinking about doing for next Friday. Love the Hitman games, so, or the games. So yeah, definitely. I think definitely I'm gonna probably get into Hitman. My eye! Ow! Next, Hitman's a lot of fun. Hitman's a lot of fun. Good game to stream too, so it's a blast. That game is great. So, I mean, if you're not into stealthy things, I know there's a lot of people a lot of gamers that cannot stand stealthy type stuff, you know. Everything else, so, which is understandable. I mean, sometimes I'm not a fan of them either, but Hitman's great though. I think they do it in a way that's really like fun, and you know, because some people might not like the pacing of stealth, you know, but that's you know, oh, you gotta be, you know, super duper careful, and one little false move and you're screwed, and you know what I'm saying, things like that. There's certain things, you know, about it that's like, you know, yeah. I can understand why people may not like stealthy type stuff. So, I mean, I know you had like the Metal Gear Solid games, and you know, that are legendary, and those are very stealth-like, and a couple other games that are kind of like that too. But you know, those are exceptions. But most of the time, people don't like stealthy type of stuff. So, but like I said, Hitman does it in a way that's really, you know, fun and exciting, and yeah. All the disguises and you know, the weapons you can use and all that stuff. It's just really cool. Ouch. You know, I mean, it certainly could be a little annoying sometimes when it's like, okay, like, you know, if you guys play the Hitman game, you know that it's like, oh yeah, well, you gotta take out their targets. You gotta take out your target. Sometimes you gotta wait for them to walk to a certain area, and they take forever to walk to the area. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my god, it's like, yeah, it's like you can walk a little faster. They gotta walk so slow. Always gotta walk slow, man. It's like, oh, let's walk super slow. Oh, but it's so satisfying though when you do get like an assassination in the game. It's like it's just really satisfying. Because you know, it takes a lot of time and everything. You know, it can take time and you know all that stuff. So it's really satisfying when you do score. When you do take out a target, a hitman. It's really good. So yeah, that's gonna be on the plan for next week, next Friday. That is definitely the plan.
Yeah.
That is most definitely gonna be the plan, guys. I'm gonna play it already though. I'm gonna start it up before the stream, but yeah. But you know, people still play get into it though. I'll have a better idea of you know what I'm doing, I guess, when we play it. So feel free to subscribe for that, and then yeah. Then I'll let you guys know some of the other games that I had in mind. People who are watching this from the Facebook page, they already know this, but if you are new to the experience, then I had a few games on the radar, a few new games on the radar that's gonna be included for these streams. So I'll tell you guys that. And then the first one I'm thinking of is the Kena Bridge of Spirits. So that's coming out later this month. Come out like in 9 days actually. It's coming out really soon. So I'm trying to get that, make sure I get that, you know, at least by launch day, and then you know. I'm gonna stream that right away, and that's a pretty hyped up indie game, so we'll try to get that for sure. Then we have Riders Republic that's coming out next month, I believe on the 2nd. So we'll try to get that. I'm working on getting that. Then we're playing that, streaming that here on YouTube, and then we got Life is Strange True Colors, and that's another, you know, pretty hyped up game, I'd say. And you know, it's hyped up in the, you know, Life is Strange community, so you know. I've been pretty involved with that community lately, so I could kind of, you know, they're a passionate group. It's a passionate group of people over there, so in that community, so you know, they're obviously pretty excited about it. But then you know, there's the people who maybe never played the games either, and I think they're a little excited about it too. They've done a pretty decent job of promoting it. So I mean, PlayStation's been promoting it and stuff like that. So out of the 3 games, it's might be the most hyped up game. Ouch, dang man. I knew he was coming, but I didn't think he was gonna land in the right on his horns. Go Bulls, Chicago Bulls. Hey, it's Michael Jordan. Hi, Michael Jordan. Yeah. Yep. So that's probably the most. I mean, that's the thing. Take your pick. It's like I don't know which one's more hyped up. Riders Republic or Life is Strange True Colors. I would say Kena, but Kena's still an indie game, so I don't think Kena's got the hype like maybe the other 2. Maybe it does, but maybe it does. Because you know, indie games, man, they'll pack a punch. You know, some of the best games ever made are indie games, so tons of great indie games out there. Like it's insane. A lot of the best games out there, you know, of all time. Ooh, you planted on the bull. Wow, and then you got in front of him, and then you still survived. Wow. And you did all that and you crashed. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. That's too bad, bro. I was like, ooh, that's kind of nice. It's like, oh, you landed on the bull, got in front of him, still had time to jump, get back on the grind, and then it's like, yeah. And now you're just feeling bull crap. Ooh, that's disgusting. I never really heard the sound like that when you step on when you right over the bull crap. It sounds freaking hilarious and gross at the same time. It makes like a farting sound. It's like that's freaking hilarious. I like ew. Gross. It's funny too, because I think it's an old game actually. In the old games, if you run over the bullcrap, then you get money actually. They got rid of that in this remake, but that's not part of the old game. You hit the bullcrap and then you collect money. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they're there. That's kind of like why the deuces are there. So You know, I mean, yeah, aside from the fact, okay, of course, yeah, animals are gonna, you know, do that a lot, but you know, that's why he keeps doing it though, because it's like, oh, you're supposed to get money for it, and I don't think you could. I don't think you get that though. Like, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe they still do give you money, but I don't really see it. So, but in the old games, though, yeah, you step on those or right over them, and then you get money that way. So it's pretty hilarious. Like, wait a minute, what? That's $1 million. Oh crap. So. Yep. But yeah, I don't know. Of those 3 games, I don't know which one's the most hyped up one. So, you know, like I said, some of the, you know, don't sleep on Kena Bridge of Spirits. I mean, it's like, you know, a lot of those indie games do have, you know, end up being really good and you know, all that stuff. So, I mean, Journey's like, you know, I can say my favorite game of all time, because when I say favorite, that means like, oh yeah, I play it all the time or whatever. So, but it is the best game I've ever played though. You know, I think Journey is the greatest game I've ever played. It's Journey, and you know, greatest game I've ever played, and that was considered an indie game, so that's considered an indie title. You know, so those become an iconic PlayStation game. So anytime you're iconic in PlayStation, that says a lot, but it's still an indie title. So that game company, the company that made Journeys, was, you know, a small company. So and that's the best game I've played. So it's good. You know, that and Bloodborne are like my top 2. Rounding out the rest of the top 5, that's kind of hard, but you know, it can be tricky rounding out the top 5, but you know. So Bloodborne's in there. I think The Last of Us is probably in there too, in that top 5 range. Shadow of the Colossus is another one probably in that top 5 range. So those are among the ones that are my all-time, you know, favorite video games. So Journey's number 1. Bloodborne's number 2. That's like facts. So, straight facts. So, my top 2 for sure. Oh, this is gonna be a short one. I knew it. Well, I guess you put up some score. Sometimes, man, sometimes people are so fast at getting those scores, it's ridiculous. Some people are really fast. Like, I'm like, holy crap. Like, they'll get in like 5 seconds. I'm like, what the heck, man? How do you do that? It'd be higher scores than that. Like, that was like 100, what was that, 150,000 or 100,000? I mean, but I mean, you know, but yeah, it was like 100,000, but you know, so like I've seen people with like with the score equivalent like 300,000 or something like that, and they still got it in like 5-6 seconds. I'm like, how do you do that? Like, are you an alien or something or what? Are you an interstellar being that nobody was aware of? Come on, bro. So. Yeah. Yeah, boy. But yeah, lots of good indie games. I mean, you know, one game that's came out a little bit ago that's definitely really under the radar is still under the radar. You know, it's been highly rated by certain like critics and things like that, I guess. But still under the radar is Minute. It's called Minute. It's like but it's spelled different. It's not spelled like how Minute is normally spelled. It's spelled like MINIT. So it's like really more dumbed down, I guess, simplified version of the word. But you know, that's a great game. That's a masterpiece, man. That's a masterpiece. Yeah, so good. But such a small, simple game, though, man. It's so small and simple. It's actually made by a big company, though. It was made by Devolver, I think. Devolver, they're big. They're actually pretty big. They got a pretty big, you know, following like that. They make a lot of games. So you know, even though they mostly do make what are considered indie games, but you know. Ouch. Oof. Yikes. That hurts. Yeah. So, I mean, they still make mostly indie games, types of games anyway, but they're They're pretty big and they got a pretty big following. They made a couple of other games. They made one game, I think that was pretty popular. I think too. I forgot which one it was. I know they made I believe they made Enter the Gungeon. I think I know that was one game. I think they made a lot of games. You know, so but they're like smaller games. But Enter the Gungeon was obviously popular. Then they have Exit the Gungeon too, which is also good. So. Then they got another game that's on mobile. That's exclusively on mobile called Bleak Sword, and that's another masterpiece. That game is brilliant. So that game's a lot like that game is a lot like Dark Souls. It's like a Dark Souls kind of game, but you know, it's like in a arcade or what's the word? Not diagram, but diaphragm. I think more of a diaphragm style art style. You know what I mean? So it's got that very simple, so it's very simple design, you know, so like that. But the combat is fantastic. The sound is great. The music is excellent. This is a great game, and it's clearly inspired by Dark Souls. It's a Dark Souls inspired kind of game, so it has a little bit of challenge to it, you know. Combat's great too, like, you know what I mean, for a game with that kind of graphics. The combat's very good and satisfying. The combat's extremely satisfying. It's a great game. But yeah, it's only on mobile. That's on Apple Arcade. So if you have Apple Arcade, I highly recommend that. Bleak Sword is amazing. It's an amazing game. So, but made by the same people that made Minute, and Minute also has that same kind of design. It's not diaphragm, but it's got kind of that black and white style art and pixelated art, you know, pixelated art style. So you know, it's got that going on. It's very pixelated, like, you know, pixelated art and things like that. So that it is pixelated art style. So it has like an old school arcade vibe to it, I guess you could say. Except like a Minute, the world is way bigger. Like it's like open world almost. No, it is an open world. The thing is, the catch is that the reason why it's called Minute is because you have only a minute per day to explore the area. So you gotta be like, so you gotta basically be really fast to, you know, get around. You gotta zip around a bit, you know, find shortcuts to get to certain areas because you only got a minute per day to explore before the day's over and you pretty much, you know, die pretty much and reborn or whatever, you know. So, but you don't die, I guess. Just time runs out. It's just time just runs out, and then it's like, all right, you go back to your last checkpoint. So that's only to make sure you're at certain checkpoints too when you play that game. Make sure you're at certain checkpoints and all that stuff, because it's like, you know, if you don't have, if you're still pretty far from where you want it to be, then that means you gotta go all the way back. So and you gotta be super fast. So, yeah. But it's a curse. It's a curse thing. It's like, oh, you got this cursed sword. I said you got the cursed sword. You only have a minute per day to do anything. So, and you're trying to break the curse. So, when you first start the game, before you had the sword, you know, you could, you know, take your time, but you just can't really access certain areas, you know, yet because you don't have the sword to break to certain areas. So. Yes. The great game has a, you know, nice arcade style to it. It's got arcade style music to it. You know, this is a really good game. Really, really good. Yeah! We have another masterpiece. Man, that was close, man. You got the second place. I was pretty close to second place there. That was pretty darn close, if you ask me. In my eyes. Sorry guys, just checking something right quick. Checking the old emails, checking the old social media. Social media. Social media. Well, that's scary. Social media. That's what they called it in school, or when I was in college. While I was in college, they said social media. Because that's what it said, like, on the, that's what it said on the you know, the schedule, you know, what do you call it? The thingy majiggy, where it tells you the classes, the name of the classes and stuff like that, and it says social media. And it's like, oh yeah, social media. Because of social media, you had social media class. So, social media class, and it'll tell you about, like, you know, learning kind of the online stuff, and for your, you know, and help you, you know, using social media to your advantage for business and marketing and all that stuff. Basically, is what it was. So, but it was called social media. Yeah. I mean, of course, that wasn't the full name. That was just like the abbreviated name or whatever. It is an abbreviated name, of course, but that alien caught me off guard a little bit. I mean, I know he's there, but you know, I got the headphones on, and I was like, what was that? And I was like, oh yeah, the alien. Good old alien.
Yeah.
I was like, I like the good old days, man. Like the good old days we played Tony Hawk. You unlock Roswell, and it's like, oh, aliens. Yep. That was the first time I ever heard of like a Area 51 or whatever. You know what I mean? You know, was playing Tony Hawk. You know. I forgot how I found out that was based off of a real place though. So, or inspired by a real place. I forgot what. You know. I forgot how I found out about that. I don't know, so said something about it like, oh yeah, this is based off of Area 51, or you know, part of the you know, mystique or whatever, right? Like, oh, aliens and all that stuff. So. Really. Yeah, but it was kind of cool. Like, ooh, then it's like, well, wait a minute. It's like, what? This is based off of a real place? That was a bad idea. That was a bad idea, man. I didn't need to do that. If I kept going, man, I don't know. I could have maybe gotten that high score, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, or I probably would have been short. Maybe I would probably have just short. Also, I don't know if you guys follow their sports, but tomorrow's I think the first true preseason game, I think, for the NFL. I know for the Bears, which is my favorite team, you know. Chicago Bears, I know they play tomorrow, so that should be fun.
Yes.
You know, to be honest, I'm not really for preseason games. I don't really care about preseason games that much, to be honest. But that said, the Bears got this new quarterback, Justin Fields, and you know, he's going to be playing tomorrow, so I'll be curious to see how he does in the preseason. So it's just preseason, so I'll be curious to see what he does. Speaking of sports too, then you have NBA 2K22 coming out. That's coming around the corner. That would have been one of the games I would have streamed, but to go along with the other three. But I don't know. NBA 2K is one of those games. It's like I don't know if I want to stream that one for certain reasons. There's certain reasons why I want to stream it. You know, I want to play it though. I'm definitely going to copy it and play it for sure. No, that's a tradition. Game 2K every year is like a tradition, man.
Yeah!
You know, you love sports games and like love basketball and all that stuff. But yeah, certain games you just gotta get every year. NBA 2K, usually NBA 2K and you know, a PGA Tour golf game. Those are usually like the yearly traditions for me. So MLB The Show hasn't been that way. I did have a phase of getting it every year, but for some reason I wasn't getting it every year. So, but now I'm gonna probably start getting that almost every year too. So I got it 2 years in a row. So. You know, and I love The Show. The Show is probably the best sports game out there. MLB The Show, actually, is probably the best sports game out there right now. You know, NBA 2K is more popular, but MLB The Show is probably the best out there. I think it's the best sports game out there right now. So.
Yes.
I have no doubt about that one. Then you had that Field of Dreams game last night too with baseball. That was amazing. Good lord. All the excitement and everything and the way it ended with my White Sox winning, that was good. That was epic. And no lie, I never seen the movie. I've never seen the movie, but the field looks cool. I noticed that it wasn't the actual field for the movie, but you know, but being in that area, that's a beautiful area there in Iowa. So yeah, so Yeah, don't sleep on the Midwest when it comes to beauty. You know, I know some people say, "Oh, it's boring. It's just cornfields and stuff," but sometimes that's part of the beauty. Sometimes, not saying it's the most gorgeous place in the world, but I'm not saying that. But you know, I'm just saying, you know, sometimes it's part of its natural beauty that okay, it's the cornfields and all that stuff, so and the farms and all that. Sometimes it's kind of part of the charms, you know, of the Midwest. Yeah, so. No, but probably even more. Well, I don't know how underrated it is in terms of beauty, but you know, the South, the U.S. South is beautiful, man. It really is beautiful. So, I mean, if you have been to a southern state or something like that, I would definitely recommend it. But I don't know how underrated it is compared to the Midwest. The Midwest, I think, is kind of underrated, kind of more underrated with beauty, probably. Again, not saying it's the best, but I'm saying it does have its beautiful areas, you know, like when you go like over there in Iowa, how they had that baseball field and, you know, I mean, all the corn fields and everything else. So it's pretty. It was actually pretty and pretty serene. So, you know, and the people who were down there actually went to the game. Though they said it was gorgeous down there.
Yeah.
So, but man, those tickets were expensive too. By the way, they said that tickets were like Heat Boy. That made me laugh. Heat Boy.
Yeah.
Miami Heat. That might be the Miami Heat. But yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it. Boy, those tickets were expensive. Someone was saying on the radio that tickets were like $5,000, $6,000. I was like, holy crap. for a baseball game in the cornfields, man? Good lord, $5,000? I mean, the way the game was played and how it ended and everything, I guess it was worth every penny. That's for sure. So, as exciting as the game was, I guess I don't blame them for somebody for going for those, but my goodness. I was like, whoa. I'm like, that's a lot of that's a lot of cheese. That's a lot of cheese, man. Going in the cornfields. No, cornfield. No, this is gonna be short-lived too. Only 150,000. Someone's gonna get this in like 2 seconds. Well, past 2 seconds now. They got it in like 2 seconds after I said it. They got it in like 2 seconds after I said that. I said, and 2 seconds, and it was like a second after I said that. Right on cue. Right on cue. Oh. So yeah, but I was like, man, those tickets are expensive though, man. I was like, ooh. I was like, yeah, it looks cool, but man, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna spend that much, buddy. 5,000 smackaroos. Man, that's a lot of cheese for a baseball game, man. Even if it is a specialty thing. Shoot. That's a lot of dough. $5,000. Someone called in, they said they got it for $1,300. And even then, that's still expensive. Still way lower than 5,000, but still. Good lord. Like, it's not even like a historic place, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily. It's based off of a movie. It's based off of a fictional thing. So it's not even like, you know, yeah, you're going to this, you're playing some like legendary field or some kind of, you know, some legendary real field. Not like you're at like Rickwood Field, which is like the oldest ballpark baseball stadium in the country, you know, over there in Birmingham, you know, Alabama. It's, you know, speaking of Southern charms, right? You know, and all that. But no, I mean, I guess, you know, it is historic though, in a way. I mean, you know. I mean, it is, let's see here. Sorry, guys. Just kind of saw something there. But yeah. No, but I mean, it's still historic because that movie is, you know, pretty historic and, you know, legendary. So, I mean, it was like what in the film registry or whatever. So, you know, for significance. So, it's certainly, you know, it might be the most iconic sports movie probably. So, again, to be honest, I didn't watch it, but in terms of like how it's perceived and how it's talked about, you know, it may not be the best sports movie, but it might be the most like recognizable. You know, I mean, people know that name, Field of Dreams. They know that name, so they know that. It's like, oh yeah, Field of Dreams. You know what I mean? So. But no, I know I got some links that like I didn't see. A lot of people I think something like that Bull Durham as like the best sports movie, so another baseball movie, but yeah. Pretty much. I'm like, what about Major League? Major League's good.
Yeah!
But people know Field of Dreams though. They know that. You haven't seen the darn movie. And it's funny too, but I think they said most of the people who were there didn't really see the movie either. They're all like, they're throwing out references to the movie at the game, I think, and they're throwing out references to the game and stuff, and I mean to the movie at the game, and I think a lot of people were kind of like, huh? People were confused, didn't know what was going on. So it's kind of funny. So I wouldn't be alone on that one. I'll watch it one of these days, but yeah. And some people say it's overrated too. I mean, you know, not saying it would be good, but some people say yeah, it's kind of overrated. I think the concept is great. I think it's cool. Yeah, the idea of like the magical baseball field or whatever. I think it's kind of neat. I think it's kind of cool. So, but it looks beautiful out there though. Definitely looks beautiful out there in Iowa. So not that far from where I'm at. I mean, I'm in Chicago, so Iowa's like a 3-4 hour ride. So, and I've been through Iowa before, so you know you can kind of see, you know, how it looks and stuff. Yep, you know, from a sports game standpoint, yeah, maybe the show is probably the best sports game out there. Just speaking of the Field of Dreams field, they do have that field in the show now too, so which is pretty cool. That's cool that they got that field in the game. So.
Yeah!
It's supposed to be limited time, I think, but now they decided to keep it for good, for at least for this game anyway. So I don't know if they're gonna carry it over to the next game, but for this game, I think it's gonna be there to stay. So it's here to stay. So yeah. Yeah. Oof. There it is. A little fuzzy on the screen there. I don't know how to stop the fuzz, to be honest. I don't know how to do that. I lowered the resolution and everything, and it's still being fuzzy. Like, it definitely doesn't look like how it looks like on my TV screen right now. The screen looks nice and crisp. Oh geez. Tried it. It's like, let me just do the thing. In the worst case, you might have to stop the streaming and restart it, maybe. In the worst case, you can see, look at it like it's a part 2 stream or something. They might do it. I gotta see how much time we're in. I think we're, you know, we're at 43 minutes in. Maybe we want to get to an hour. Maybe we'll get to an hour into the stream, maybe, or something like that, or a little less than that. We can, you know, stop the stream, and restart it. I think in order to get those settings that you want, I think you have to stop the stream and set it up beforehand. So. Yeah, it does look. I think it does look a little funky. Just a little bit. So. You know, matter of fact, you know, let me go ahead and do that now. It is bothering me a little bit. Let's go quit first, and then I'll have to stop the stream, and then we have to do it again. So I'll go ahead and end stream. Alright guys, I will be right back. Stay tuned for part 2 of our Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 stream right here on YouTube. Be back shortly.